What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another hunting boot camp. Today I am going over scouting tips for doves. So as we know, September is fast approaching, and that means dove season is just around the corner, and no better time to talk about scouting for doves than now. So let's just jump right into it like usual, and the first tip is when to scout. So obviously month-wise, right now, we're less than a month away from the season. Birds are starting to move in here. Some of the birds have been here for however many months. Some nest here, at least in Nebraska. I don't know about everyone else's area, but I have been seeing a ton of doves in my area just driving gravel roads every now and then. So right now is a great time to get out and scout for doves. Now, as far as time of the day, it's going to be your morning and your evening hours are going to be your best bet to find doves. Now, you can drive around and you can find doves in the middle of the day pretty easily just as well too. Those morning and evening hours though, you're going to find where the roosts are, where they're spending the night, and then they're going to fly to get food, or they'll fly to get gravel or water or whatever, and then they'll do the same thing in the evening. They'll come from their loafing area or their feeding area to water or to get gravel, and then back to their roost sites. So you just got to basically find one of those areas, and I'll get into that in just a second. But morning and evening are usually your best bets, as well as like hunting times. When you go dove hunting, it's usually afternoon, evening, or early morning for a couple hours, and then you do other stuff the rest of the day. Not to say that you can't have good dove hunts during the middle of the day or anything, but typically those morning and evening hours are going to be your better times. So what are the areas you need to look for when you're scouting for doves? Where do the doves go? They're not much different than any other animal. That they need a place to sleep, they need a place to eat, they need a place to get some water. And for doves, they also need a place to get gravel to help them aid in digestion. So those are about the 4 areas to concentrate on when looking for an area to hunt doves. And we'll start with the first one, food sources. So one of the most common ones is sunflower fields. Doves absolutely love sunflower fields. They also love small grain fields, so anything like millet, milo, even cut wheat fields, cut rye fields, triticale, whatever. Doves really flock to those, and especially those cut wheat fields. They were cut in July usually, and then there'll be some weeds and stuff, and doves really like little weed seeds too. So just like foxtail and other annual and perennial vegetation that just pops up, that is commonly called a weed, doves will also consume that too. So you might not even have to look for the sunflowers or the millet or the milo or whatever. You could look for just a weed edge along a cornfield or something, and doves will go there. And they'll also like kind of areas with bare soil, kind of easier for them to find those seeds that fall off from the plants. So that's another kind of thing to look for too. But those are going to be like the main areas as far as food sources to look for. The small grain ones, cut wheat fields, sunflower fields. I know a lot of like state and federal agencies will plant sunflower plots in some of the like the public hunting areas, and that's really good dove habitat, as well as like milo fields too. But those are the areas to focus for when you're looking for dove food. Next, you're looking for places for doves to sit. They'll sit up and then they'll fly down and eat, and then they'll fly back up somewhere to perch. Probably the most common one is power lines. Now, I'm not advocating for anyone to go hunt around a power line. The power companies tend to frown on that, but you can get a good idea of the birds in your area just simply driving gravel roads and looking at doves on the power line, because they sit up there. That's just one good example of a perch area. So but for like areas without the power lines, when you go into those fields or whatever, look for maybe there's like a tree line and there's some dead trees. Doves love to sit up in the dead trees. Another good one is fences, and you'll see, you can put those dove decoys with like the little clothespin thing on it. You can put those on the fence lines, and you'll see doves just fly up on those fence lines and sit, and then fly wherever else. So power lines, trees, fences, pretty much anything that's up off the ground, and if it has a wire running across it or like an empty branch or something, more than likely it's going to be a good spot for doves to sit. So the next thing to scout is water. Like I said, doves need water just like everything else, and this is a great chance for people who are training retrievers, water dogs, whatever, to take them out there. Not that you can't take them out anywhere else, and you probably want to, because it can be easy to lose a dove, and if it flies into the wrong stuff, I mean, you'll be looking for hours. But if you hunt over water, you know, it's just another chance to get some more water work in with your retriever or whatever kind of dog you're running. In addition to, also can be really lights out dove hunting. You know, spots with limited water, whether it's like a little cattle wallow out in a pasture, or even a cow tank with, you know, like a windmill. Another great place for doves to perch. Those can be really lights out spots. Like a pond or river type setting, you kind of want to find areas with exposed soil too, and then maybe like a vegetation line, some of those weedy plants, once again, that doves like to eat. So then they got the water and the food right there next to them. You know, kind of look for areas that overlap in what they need. So the final way is, you know, how to scout for doves. You know when to scout, you know where to scout, kind of what areas to look for. Now, how do you go about scouting these? Like, what are you specifically looking for? Because you're probably not gonna find a lot of dove sign. I mean, you're not gonna find, like, even ducks and geese will leave tracks or scat. Doves are really light. They sit up in trees a lot. Probably not gonna find their footprints, probably not gonna find many feathers. You're looking for actual birds themselves. So you can go around, if you want to get a good idea of like the birds in your area, just drive gravel roads in those evenings or early mornings, and you'll find, you know, like I said, look at power lines and you'll see birds sitting up there, and that should give you at least some idea that, you know, how many doves are in your area. If you see a ton of doves sitting on a power line in an area, kind of look around that area and see why they're there. But driving around is a really easy way and really fast way just to get an idea of the birds in your area. Another great way is to walk around potential dove hunting areas. You know, if you get permission or if you find a place that might look good, you know, say maybe it's public. Go walk out there, walk out to the sunflower fields that are planted, or the milo, or even the corn fields. Walk the edges and just, you know, sit there and listen. Sit there and watch. See how many birds you see. And the best places to dove hunt, typically, that I've found, are ones that have at least two of those things that doves need. You know, it's a lot easier on the birds if they can go from a perching place down to get some food and some water, or, you know, vice versa. So if you can find an area with two of those or three of those or all of those, then you're probably in a good dove spot. And if you see birds there using it, then you're probably in a great dove spot. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If I missed anything, drop it down below so anyone watching this video in the future can look down below in the comments and maybe find some other tips I might have missed. I mean, there's not too much to dove scouting. It's fairly simple, like I said. But if I missed anything, let me know down below. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you out there, guys. See ya.